Welcome to the very hard Phantom Liberty experience, where I take on Cyberpunk's DLC on the highest difficulty, because I clearly haven't learnt my lesson after the base game. Now before we dive in, full disclosure, I did some off-camera minding, and by that I mean I platinumed the game. So my V is now level 60, built like a tank, and ready to turn Dogtown into a playground of pain. Alright, let's get into it, and get to the part where I fail stealth and start improvising. This is the very hard Phantom Liberty experience. Let's begin. So I start the DLC, and bam, immediately get hacked. Guess I shouldn't have clicked on that email from a Nigerian prince offering me shares in Arasaka. We all make mistakes. Then this new character shows up. Her name? Songbird. I don't know much yet, but I've got a feeling, me and her, we're going to be besties. She seems nice, trustworthy, totally not hiding anything. Oh, and then she just casually Thanos snaps Johnny out of existence. No warning, just poof. I guess Songbird's the jealous type. To make up for it though, she gives me access to a new relic skill tree. Let's go. More power, more perks, more ways to accidentally blow my own cover in stealth. What more could a man ask for? Anyway, Bestie tells me I need to save the president. Sure, why not? But to do that I have to break into a place called Dogtown. Nothing screams safety like a place named after a discount hot dog stand. First stealth section rolls in and I'm thinking, alright, I've leveled up, I've learned, I'm better now. I fumble it harder than that one kid who interrupted his dad's BBC interview.
Oh, I think you've got to...
What? Fuck off! I'm on live telly! Fuck off out of it! Stay out of my office! I want to fucking hell! Fuck off, you little twat! Sorry.
Let's just pretend this didn't happen. I've got a president to save, Dogtown's a war zone, and a bestie with hacking powers. What could possibly go wrong? So I break into the stadium's car park, do a bit of Mirror's Edge inspired parkour through the scaffolding, like I actually know what I'm doing. It's the closest I've ever come to feeling cool in this game, and it didn't last. I make it into the stadium's market, and honestly, the vibe is immaculate. It's giving post-apocalyptic pop-up. Bestie hits me up and tells me to get to the roof so I can witness her sick parking skills. Naturally, I assume we're talking some Fast and Furious level precision. What I witness instead is her crashing through a building like a flaming bowling ball. I guess she wasn't forklift certified. I sprint over to save her, Bestie protocol activated, and promptly get hit by a car mid-run. Thanks Night City, never change. Fight my way through a squad of heavily armed maniacs, make it to the president, then have to fight my way back through some heavily armoured enemies to get her to safety, perform some surgery, like I just watched a YouTube tutorial for it. While riding the high of successfully performing surgery, my game crashes, which is fitting because it wouldn't be Cyberpunk without the occasional crash. Reload the game, sneak to the evac car, and get caught right before I get into it, almost like failing stealth is some sort of tradition for me. I gracefully arrive at a super secret hidden Militech base in a car I borrowed without asking, because showing up to a hidden base in a stolen car just screams professional. Me and the president sneak in like pros until I immediately get cornered by half of Dogtown. No problem though, because Bestie Songbird saves the day by hacking into a Chimera mech. I'm sure this plan will go off without a hitch. So the Chimera goes rogue and decides to Kool-Aid Man its way through the floor, taking me with it. I fall into a boss arena like this is a From Software game, and suddenly, it's on. First boss fight of the DLC, it's big, it's metal, it farts chemical gas. This thing literally has a toxic fart attack. I didn't know I was fighting Mech Shrek. I'm holding my own, dodging, weaving, I'm in that gamer zone. I get the Chimera down to 13%, and then I die. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, and I'm mad. After calming down and screaming into a pillow, I go back in, and this time take it down. And believe it or not, this is the only time I die in the entire DLC. I know what you're thinking, peak gamer performance. Chimera goes boom, I live, and the president still thinks I know what I'm doing. Let's keep this disaster going. While escorting the president to safety, guess who decides to make a comeback? That's right, Johnny's back.
Here's Johnny!
We get to the safe house, which is surprisingly chill for a rundown apartment, and I get to do something I never thought I'd say. Crack open a cold one with the president of the new United States. Of course nothing good can stay. Someone finds the safe house. I guess it wasn't that safe. Naturally I handle it the only way I know how. Violence, panic, and an alarming lack of stealth. After the excitement, I take a power nap, swear the oath of allegiance to the president. Not for political reasons, I just really want the cool coin. She tells me to go find a guy named Reed for help, which let's be honest sounds less like a covert agent and more like a guy who runs a bookstore part-time. Tell Reed I'm here to pick up the classified documents and maybe a copy of Dune. With a vague lead and a cool coin in my pocket, V is finally unleashed upon Dogtown. Following the lead the president gave me, I break into a place called Captain Calientel, forgive my pronunciation. Inside I find this old school payphone. You know, one of those old school phones boomers used, back when you could work 10 hours a week, buy a house and still complain about what millennials were up to. I plug in the secret code the president gave me, and Johnny has to show V how to use an old school payphone. Honestly, a pretty funny scene. Maybe Johnny will teach V how to rewind a VHS tape next. The call connects, and I speak to a guy named Reed. He's cryptic, serious, and sounds like he's been through exactly 12 betrayal acts. He tells me to meet him and agree, because honestly, I'm a sucker for Idris Elba. Time to meet the man, uncover some secrets, and probably get betrayed. Feels like the start of a beautiful friendship. I finally meet Reed, and he greets me by pressing a gun into my back. At least I hope that's a gun, and not that he's just really happy to see me. Otherwise we both come to this meeting for two very different reasons. He tells me to come meet him in his van, because nothing says trust me, I'm a secret agent, like a guy luring you into a packed van behind a sketchy building. Hopefully he brought candy, or at least Wi-Fi. We sit down, we talk, and you know what? I think Reed and I might be bestie material too. Calm, professional, definitely hiding something. Just my type. I take Reed back to the safe house to meet the president. He walks in, looks around and hits me with a judgmental tone. You live like this? And I respond the only way someone who sleeps next to a vending machine can. Yes. It's official, I've got the president, a super spy, and a volatile relic in my head. What could possibly go wrong? So after our intense little debrief, Reed decides it's time to aura farm. Just stood there in the moonlight doing nothing. I see the drip, Reed. No need to flex on me that hard. He tells me it's going to take 2 whole days for extraction to be ready. 2 days? In Night City time, that's enough for me to start a new life, change my name, and open a noodle stand. So I do what any responsible merc would do. I start grinding side quests. First up, steal some cars for El Captain, because nothing screams saving the president like stealing a convertible. Then I take a few gigs from Mr. Hands, and before I know it, Reed calls me back. The president's been extracted, and it's time to get serious again. Reed tells me to head to some shady place called the Moth Bar and look for a contact named Alex. It turns out Alex and Reed are not exactly on speaking terms. Their vibes are so tense I started checking the room for knives, and for the record, Reed has absolutely no riz. He fumbles every line like it's a job interview. Honestly, he's literally me. I witness Alex using some straight up Mission Impossible level tech. I try to play it cool, but end up resorting to the highest level speech tactic known to man. Begging. Somehow it works, and Alex agrees to squad up and drop Tilted Towers with us. Before we drop though, I have a little heart-to-heart with Johnny. He's cool, he's real. Before we can drop Tilted Towers together, Reed requests I go and meet a guy named Slider. What kind of nickname is Slider anyway? So me and Reed roll up to Slider's club, and his guards basically look us up and down and go, yeah, you're not cool enough to get in. Which, first off, rude. Second off, fair. But don't worry, I activate my elite tier stealth skills, and by that I mean we crawl into some vents like raccoons with a tactical plan. And I definitely make it to Slider without getting caught. There's absolutely not a bizarre boss fight against the server. Nope, that definitely didn't happen. I get face to face with Slider, who looks like he builds crypto miners during the day and DJs at night. He helps me to connect with Songbird, my other bestie. The convo goes fine, except for the part where the Blackwall tech fries Slider's brains like a microwave burrito. You know, standard technical difficulty stuff. Definitely not my fault. Next time I'll make sure to bring a bathtub filled with ice. Anyway, now that I know where Songbird is, me and Reed are one step closer to securing the safety of one of my besties. Now that we know Songbird's being held by Kurt Hansen, we have to break into his big exclusive party. So I call up Mr. Hands, and surprise, surprise, I have to wait. Again. Reed made me wait, now Hands is making me wait. At this rate I'm going to become emotionally attached to the pause menu. So while I wait to get into the Cyberpunk equivalent of Coachella, I decide to do something productive, go hunting for relic upgrades. Because when the plot takes a breather, I seek out upgrades. But once that text comes in, I'm one step closer to storming the party. Turns out Mr. Hands wants to meet in person. I'm excited, nervous, curious, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed that he's not just a pair of disembodied hands typing on a floating keyboard. Instead, he's a slick operator who tells me he can get me into Kurt Hansen's party. But I have to wait again.
Aww.
With nothing better to do, I head back to the Moth Bar to meet up with Reed. I slip on a banana peel and trip walking in. Reed helps me up like a true gentleman with mommy issues, then decides it's time to open up about his tragic backstory. He's brooding, he's hurt, he's mysterious. After Reed trauma dumps on me, he takes me to what I can only describe as his back cave. It's dimly lit, full of shady tech, and probably has at least one illegal espresso machine. Alex shows up, and we finally go over the plan to crash Kurt's party. And as a cherry on top, she gives me a slick new pistol called Her Majesty. because nothing says undercover infiltration like a gun with Bond girl energy. So we've got a plan, we've got the gear, and we've got a suspiciously charismatic crew with unclear motivations. All that's left is to drop Tilted Towers together. Alright, it's go time. Following Alex's instructions, I enter the tower where Hansen's party is being held by swimming through a flooded toxic sewer tunnel. What the fuck, Alex? Because nothing says stealth like getting chemical burns. I emerge from the sewer like a stealthy swamp rat and sneak into the warehouse. One by one I take down the guards with clean precision. What can I say? I am the greatest gamer. I hack the cameras to give Reed a clear path through enemy territory. Smooth, silent, professional. I get caught. God damn it. I go up the elevator to sneak up on the rooftop sniper. Clean takedown. His fancy sniper rifle is now my fancy sniper rifle. And it's time to help Reed sneak through using maximum precision. First shot, clean kill. Second shot, missed. Guards on full alert. Look, no one said you had to be good at sniping to be stealthy. I'm just going to pretend this didn't happen and Reed totally snuck through. At the end of the day, Reed's still moving, the mission is still on. I'll add sniping to a list of things I can't do in Cyberpunk. Let's keep rolling. I need to change so I can blend in with the rest of Hansen's guests. And this time, it's my turn to aura farm. My drip is immaculate. I mingle for a bit and then finally spot Songbird, and damn, she is chromed out like a walking USB stick. I wonder if USBs are still a thing in Cyberpunk. We have a nice little besties only gap sesh, full of coded language, tension and emotional damage. You know, classic girl talk. Then just as things are getting real, Kurt Hansen shows up looking like a side character from a cancelled wrestling game, and rudely drags my bestie away mid-convo. Not cool, Kurt, not cool at all. After she's gone, I notice Songbird left behind a shard. Reed and I go full detective mode, and the evidence leads us to a chilling revelation. Songbird was behind the president's crash. Turns out she is forklift certified. My trust has never been so broken. Naturally, I process this emotional betrayal in the healthiest way possible. I head to the casino and start gambling my problems away. Because remember, 90% of gamblers quit before they win big, and I will be that 10%. My bestie's a traitor. Reed's suspiciously quiet. I may or may not have been banned from 3 blackjack tables. Things are heating up. After being banned from blackjack, I decide to cozy up to the VIPs at the roulette table. Because 1, they've got intel, and 2, I like to pretend I'm in a Bond movie sponsored by cyberpsychosis. They seem important, maybe too important. I decide to go all in on red, because Mama didn't raise no bitch. She raised the greatest gamer to ever live. I place the bet. I feel the power of probability flowing through me. The ball spins, and guess what? I win, because I am that 10%. As I'm basking in my well-deserved gambling high, Kurt Hansen rolls up just to tell me I stink, and he kicks me out. But honestly, the party was mid anyway. Didn't want to be there. Me and the squad head back to the Moth Bar to regroup. Spirits are a little bruised, my drip's wrinkled, and pretend that getting booted from a mega party wasn't deeply humiliating. I will get my revenge, Hansen. Here's the new plan. Track down the roulette table VIPs, find out what rental car they're using, hack it, steal their identity, and just waltz into Kurt Hansen's base like we pay rent there. Rescue bestie Songbird, escape Dogtown, happily ever after. What could possibly go wrong? Step 1, locate the car. Easy. Consider it hacked, tracked, and tactically jacked. Then I get a call from Songbird who needs another yap sesh. She tells me she's dying. Twinsies, girl. We're not just saving each other's lives, we're trauma bonding on a molecular level. She also tells me not to trust Reed. And I mean, if you can't trust your terminally ill, chromed out, secret government hacker bestie, who can you trust? Of course the next step is more waiting. Amazing. I love downtime in the Warzone, really builds tension and character development. While I wait, Alex decides now's the perfect time for a deep talk and a dance break. V tries her best. She's got cybernetic arms, not rhythm. Alex insults my dancing, calls me out for looking like a drunk Roomba, and I leave emotionally shattered. I can tell she wants to be my bestie too, but that slot's filled. The car's tracked, the loyalties are blurred, my dance confidence is in the gutter, but hey, things are finally moving, just not up. Reed hits me up and says I need some new chrome to complete the mission. I'm thinking cool, maybe a smart gun or a new cyber spine. Instead, I walk into a ripper dock, look to my right and see a head in a jar. And I'm thinking, you know what? That kinda looks like me. Oh. Wait. Next thing I know, I'm strapped to a table getting my entire face removed. So yeah, new chrome unlocked, other people's skin.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
After having a minor identity crisis, I climb up to a rooftop like I'm Batman and scout out the roulette people's rental car. Targets acquired, identity theft speedrun initiated. I sneak into the car's trunk, hack it from the inside, and ride along like a very traumatized cyber gremlin. Once we hit the safe house, Reed and Alex go full trust issues mode and instantly execute the roulette people. Bit of an overreaction, but hey, who am I to judge? And just when I think things can't get any worse, I activate my new face. I look into the mirror and see a stranger. Peak Cyberpunk vibes, but hey, mission's going great. Alright, here we go. Time to sneak into Hansen's secret base, disguised as someone I absolutely am not. I walk in, cool and confident, definitely not wearing someone else's face like a mask. Nobody suspects a thing. I'm incognito, I'm stealthy, until Hansen opens his mouth and starts speaking in full-blown Japanese, just straight yapping non-stop, and I realise, damn, I should have brought Not Will. She would have loved this. Suddenly, Bestie appears, it's time. The plan we discussed to betray Reed has to be executed right here, right now. So I do it. I betray Reed. Alex destroys Hansen like he's a noob who just got the new Call of Duty for Christmas. Me and Songbird sprint for our lives, crawling through what I can only describe as Night City's worst plumbing. It's a dramatic escape, but we make it. We go our separate ways, mostly so Reed can't track us, and because this game needs another narrative cooldown, we wait more. Because nothing screams edge-of-your-seat cyber thriller like sitting around staring at your hands wondering if your face is still your face. Did a few more gigs for Mr. Hands, because nothing screams endgame urgency like side hustles. Then I get a call from Bestie. It's time. She tells me to meet her in an alleyway, in a van. You know, totally normal, not shady at all. She looks like she's been through 5 boss fights and a hangover. We've all been there. I drive us to the Night City spaceport. That's right, folks, we're going to the moon. Okay, not me, just Bestie. I'm just the Uber in this scenario. We pass through security, where they immediately disable all my implants, like I'm a walking EMP risk. Bit rude, but hey, I'm still carrying the emotional damage upgrade. Once inside, we need to find a way to sneak Bestie onto the launch pad, so I do what any well-trained cybermerc would do. I climb to the balcony, and throw down the fire hose for her to climb up. That's right, Die Hard style. She gets pulled up like a glitchy balloon, and suddenly it's Operation Moon Sneak in full effect. Just when things were going kind of okay, Reed and all of Uncle Sam's finest turn up, and decide to crash our moon party. Me and Songbird dip into the tunnels. That's right, me and Bestie are back to get in the shaft. We sneak our way back toward the main building. Or rather, I sneak. Songbird kind of stumbles like she's running on 4% battery. Once we're inside, I see a hallway full of heavily armoured guards and say, nope. I run straight past them like I'm speedrunning my way out of commitment. After the chaos, we get a 5-minute breather for some deep character development. Bestie and I sit down, we talk about the mission, about survival, about how we're both probably 2 wrong steps away from permanent shutdown. The normal stuff besties talk about. But President Meyer's boys are closing in. It's time to make the final push to the tram that leads to the launch pad. It's not going well. We're surrounded. Hope is fading. Until Songbird says,
Fine. I'll do it myself.
She activates her ultimate move, Blackwall Unleashed. What follows is one of the coolest action scenes in the entire game. Glitches, sparks, people's limbs being crippled. She goes full cyber psycho mode. We make it onto the tram. It's just me and Bestie. And that's when she decides to drop the final plot twist. Hey, so about that cure. There's only one dose. And surprise, it's mine. Cool, I think to myself. And before I can even process it, she passes out. Right there, leaning against the tram wall, out cold. I could call Reed, hand her over, maybe even get my shot at surviving. But I don't. Because revenge, that's a fool's game. And Bestie, as flawed and broken and horribly forklift certified as she is, still deserves that moon. I carry her to the launch pad. The atmosphere is heavy, music swelling, neon lights reflecting off the rain. And there he is, a Reed. He steps out into the rain with me, and goddamn, this man cannot stop aura farming. Put her down, V. You don't have to do this. But I do, and I already have. He tells me to surrender, says there's still time, but we both know there's not. He reaches for his gun, so I reach for mine. Just like Han, I shot first. Reed collapses in the rain, no slow speech, no monologue, just silence. I carry Songbird to the ship. One final grunt of effort, I strap her in, the engines ignite, and she's gone. To the stars, to freedom, to a chance V'll never have, but at least one of us will be cured. And that was the very hard Phantom Liberty experience. I just want to say thank you. The last Cyberpunk video doing as well as it did meant the world to me. It doubled the sub count of this channel in a few days, which is unreal. Cyberpunk's now officially done, so I need your help. Drop a comment and tell me what game you want to see me do next. Fun fact, the script for this video ended up being over 40 pages long, so if you've made it this far, how about dropping a like and hitting subscribe? It means a lot to me. Thanks again for watching. You guys are the best. I'll see you in the next one.